Oh, wow. This is so cool. Hello, welcome back to another video and welcome to a new year. So this is not unrelated really to the video, but this is the first video that I'm recording in the new year. I had some backlogged videos to get in, but now we're into the new year and we're into a bit of a new setup. If you're familiar with this channel, you'll realise that I stood up because I now have a standing desk. But anyway, that's irrelevant because today we're going to be starting the new year with a theme that I'm very, very excited to have a reaction to and a look into, and it's a theme called Take Flight, which is the entrance theme for professional wrestler Kenny Omega, who wrestles in All Elite Wrestling and New Japan. Which may seem like, why am I doing this? Well, first of all, I'm a wrestling fan. But second of all, this theme was composed by Final Fantasy 14 and 16 composer Soken, which we've done lots of Final Fantasy 14 and 16 songs on this channel. It had vocals from Jason Charles Miller, and it has a voiceover from Nobuo Uematsu as well, which we're all familiar with, the legendary Final Fantasy composer. So this is a wrestling entrance theme with the DNA of Final Fantasy. It's two of the worlds that I love merging together, and I'm sure this song is going to be an example of that. As of recording, I think his return into the ring with his new theme happened about a week ago. Obviously this is going to go out a bit after when I'm recording it, so I haven't listened to this yet. I don't know what it is. I haven't watched the entrance. I've avoided it before because I knew I wanted to do this reaction, and that's what we're going to do right now. But before we get into it, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. I'd really appreciate that, so we can push this channel even further forward in 2025 as well. And also let me know what you want next. I mean, if this goes down well and there's other wrestling themes you want to look at, we can do that. That's not a problem with me at all. But anyway, put those in the comment section below. But having said that, I think we'll get into it, and let's get into the initial reaction. We might react to about half and stop. We might just do the whole thing and then react to it again afterwards. I might do that. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. So let's do the initial reaction of Take Flight from Kenny Omega from AEW and New Japan, composed by Soken. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Is that the voiceover? Okay. Oh, it's like Sephiroth. Or MSL. Oh, this is great. This is really cool. Oh, yes. Oh, wow. This is so cool. We're going to do the whole thing, by the way.
Cross the border and onward to destiny. Ever pointing ahead, we will fight to the end. 'Cause tonight there ain't no looking back. No.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Wow. 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 Of course, we're going to have to react to that again, and we'll stop and start during the second reaction, but let's talk about the kind of initial thoughts with it, which is predominantly, I mean, it's an excellent theme. It's a dream of a theme, like, realistically, and I can tell, like, to have obviously, I know people may come to this video and not know who Kenny Omega is or whatever, but obviously a real connection in Japan, real kind of gamer, obviously very connected with Final Fantasy. Obviously his finishing move is the One-Winged Angel. What a dream this theme must be to have it composed by the Final Fantasy composers, to have Nobuo Uematsu in the song itself. That's your theme as you enter. And it's got so many different kind of, how it progresses so interestingly, and it kind of has different kind of tastes of the Final Fantasy genre or games within it, which I think is very, very cool. It's almost like a buffet of Final Fantasy music in a sense, but obviously it's got the through line of him and this, you know, this wrestler that is at the absolute top of the mountain. You know, he's arguably the greatest to do it. So he deserves a theme that kind of backs that, and I think that does. It's kind of like godlike almost in that sense. But let's react to it again, and let's break it down, and let's talk about what I mean with the words that I said just then. All right, here we go, and go. So obviously this is, it kind of, I mean, there's so many Final Fantasies this could mean. For me, it kind of threw me into Heaven's Ward, where you've got this organ, this cathedral gothic sound, and then you've got this baritonal, like, choral sound in there as well. Very grand, very formal in that sense. Yeah, like that, godlike, religious. And the reverb. And it kind of got these low kind of bass rumblings in there as well, vocally and through the sounds too. And I think that's obviously to kind of introduce him. Obviously, you got to kind of think of it in multiple contexts as well, because this is a stage theme. This is like a hype theme to bring out a person, and has staging thought, as a thought process of live staging in it. So that has to be you have to bear that in mind. Well, we're going to get to the voiceover in a second, but obviously the classic kind of rumbling low down and the da 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 of the building of the sound of the pitch as well. You kind of get into that crux, that crescendo to drop into the main theme. But then we have how cool is that? to have that, I'm pretty sure that must be a Matsu. The voiceover they use, to have that in your theme. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. How cool must that be, man? How cool must that be? And this is Final Fantasy VII, man. This is so Final Fantasy VII. It's so simple, like, it really, really reminds me of, like, the battle theme. It could be the visual as well of the flames and everything. But as I said before, you could interpret the flames as them itself, not just Sephiroth. But this does feel like a battle theme, a Final Fantasy battle theme. The high tempo, hi-hat kind of percussion, the way that the strings are kind of bum, bum, hit, hit, hit. So it's kind of got that kind of that sharp tactness to the sound, that kind of piercing pulse to it. Then we got the vocals come in, and this is very classic rock sound. It has that classic rock tone to it, which I think works because this is obviously an orchestral piece, but it has that kind of edge to it that you need. And classical rock and classic, that kind of, you got to underline that word, because classic rock singers tonally and technique wise are actually very, very close to classical singers. In the way to kind of use their vowels and everything. So it kind of makes sense to have that very classic rock sound in this, because it would suit an orchestral piece with a bit of edge. Maybe a bit of grit. Maybe edge wasn't the right word to use. Never mind. And those hits and then the da da da, it reminds me of some of the Titan, Titan I suppose, but the Icon fights in FF16. Some of those set pieces were just incredible, and this is the kind of the level of epic kind of grandeur that you get from a theme like this. It's like, I mean, could you ask for anything more? Like, you can't not be the main event with a theme like this. You can't not be. It almost feels like we've gone kind of Genesis Phil Collins for a second, you know, but this kind of makes me feel like we've gone to like a village hub in a Final Fantasy game. You know what I mean? This kind of really kind of on the offbeat, this kind of real almost synthy 80s pop sort of sound that we're getting at the moment, which is I really, really like. Kind of got this kind of pan flute in there as well. It kind of gives it a really kind of happier, more positive vibe to it now. It feels a lot more face, I suppose is the right word to say. And this is what I kind of meant by like buffet of Final Fantasy sounds. You've got the start. It sounds very much like almost like a boss battle, right? Final boss, villain, danger coming in. But now, as the song progresses on, it gets more and more kind of happier and more kind of adventurous and more kind of optimistic, especially with these kind of synthy sounds and this kind of like almost like bell percussion, I think. Yeah, bells. And even now we're going into the orchestral bits. This feels a lot more grander, a lot more prouder. Just try and listen. I have to try and remember where I was now. Try and listen to the difference between kind of this. How serious that is, how much tension it's building, how it feels like it's you've kind of poured yourself into like a real dangerous situation, and then you kind of move to okay, about here to the next orchestration bit. Almost feels like the percussion's a little bit swung. It's kind of more like marching pace. It feels like a parade almost. You've got the snare drums. You've got this bright kind of horns in there as well. It sounds a lot more heroic. Heroic. Reminds me of something. I can't think. You know, it sounds. It just threw me. It's like it sounds so familiar to like an FF14 kind of section. I can't think of the song. I like that harps kind of sound in there as well. Obviously, very familiar to the prelude tone that we get. Obviously, a very, very famous piece of music.
Over rivers of black, cross the border and onward to destiny, ever pointing.
And this sounds so Final Fantasy in that kind of the way that they kind of got the strings overlaying each other. It's kind of like waves of light coming up, and it gives it that kind of real crystallized. I didn't even mean to say that as a pun, but crystallized kind of sound to it. Crystal clear sound.
We will fight to the end.
It's not pun, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and that were all big and no looking back, no. That was really cool. I mean, that's just an amazing song, isn't it? I don't know many wrestling themes that you could say are better than this one. To be honest, I don't think I would say there is one better than this at the moment. There's other very good ones. There's other very, very good ones. But this, for me, as a Final Fantasy fan, as a wrestling fan, as a Kenny Omega fan, probably the best one right now. Anyway, let me know what you thought of Take Flight, the Kenny Omega AEW entrance theme, in the comment section below. Also composed by Soken, including Nobuo Uematsu, and of course Jason Charles Miller on the vocals. Let me know what you thought. What did you like? What did you not like? What would you like to hear next? Do you want more wrestling? Do you want more Final Fantasy? What do you want? Let me know in the comments below and we'll get that sorted onto the new year. As we are in the new year, if you have watched this video all the way through, thank you very much. I appreciate you the most. If you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do. I really appreciate that. Having said all that, thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.